Hi, and welcome to this briefing of Awingu 3.1. This is Arnaud. I'm heading the International Business Development and Strategic Partnerships for Awingu. And I have with me Peter.
Hello everyone, I'm Peter Leclerc. I'm the CTO of Awingu.
All right, and we're happy to introduce you to what's new in Awingu 3.1. Before I jump into Awingu and the latest features and functionalities, I'd like to bring you back a bit to our recent history of the solution and bring you back to Awingu 2.4, which was released around this time of year last year in 2015. And Awingu 2.4 really was the base platform of Awingu. It had all the core functionalities that we bring today. Later in 2015, we released Awingu 3.0, which really brought a lot of emphasis on the user experience enhancements. We introduced the polygon approach, but next to that, we've also done a significant number of work in the backend, going from multi-domain support, SSL offloading, SNMP support, etc. Now we're launching Awingu 3.1, and we're surfing further on this vibe. Obviously, the user experience is kept consistent with what we've done in 3.0, but the novelties here are really focused on getting service provider ready, getting fully service provider ready by adding multi-tenant admin, but next to those things as well, adding specific types of use cases like smart card support. And I'll jump into the details right now. So at the highest level, what does Awingu 3.1 bring? As I said, service provider ready. It's about multi-tenant control panel, and it's about personalization on the tenant level. As such, now I think Awingu really brings everything that you would expect a solution to have as a service provider. Secondly, we've enabled a number of new use cases, and these actually come from customer demand as we speak. And one of those features is the support for smart card readers, as well as support for usage reporting. And we'll zoom into these two in a second. Third big block is, it's enhancements in terms of integration capabilities. And one of those is integration with RDS farms, which is going to be a really important integration for service providers as well. And secondly, it's the ability to import groups, users, and servers directly from the Active Directory when you're set up, which is going to be a real time saver for resellers and administrators that are setting up Awingu. And finally, with Awingu 3.1, we introduce as well a freemium tier. What this is that every download of Awingu now comes with 2 concurrent users built in. The purpose of these 2 concurrent users are really to facilitate and optimize the install process and really, add as little blocking factors as possible and make sure that you can install Awingu in one single go and get up and running and start testing. Now, let's zoom into the first building block, and that is service provider readiness. And as you've seen in what we've done in the past 12 months, we already had a number of components that made Awingu a service provider ready solution. We already supported multi-active directory, we already supported multi-node deployments, and we already had a fully open API architecture. And so on top of that, now we're adding multi-tenant control and a full personalization on tenant level. Let's have a quick look at the high-level architecture, the high-level approach for multi-tenancy here. Awingu brings what you'd expect multi-tenancy to do. So you have a global admin level, which is typically going to be a service provider, potentially an ISV, and this global administrator has the ability to create multiple domains. Each domain or each tenant typically will represent an end customer or an organization, might be a business unit within a larger corporation as well. And then obviously the end users are then grouped behind each domain. In theory, you can imagine situations where a single domain hosts multiple customers or multiple groups of end users as well. Zooming into the different functionalities that each of these levels bring, then as you'd expect, the global administrator has the ability to create new domains or new tenants, and he is the only one that can manage the system-wide settings like the SNMP setup. On domain level, a domain administrator can do all the activities that you'd expect him to be able to do. That is, adding, managing applications and file servers, managing Awingu user access rights, personalizing the login page and the workspace, etc. So he's going to get full control of whatever is being done and needed to be done within his domain or within his customer setup. End users at the end get access to a personalized web space, applications, and files as they would in any other Awingu type of context. I think this is a great time to actually have a quick live view on what multi-tenancy means today. And Peter, can you give us a quick roll?
Sure, thanks, Arno. So what you see right here is an environment which we've configured for the screencast. And as you can see, this is branded with a nice background for customer 1. You can see customer 2, which is a second tenant, has a different background. And if you enter without a valid DNS name, you get the optional field for a domain, so you can specify what domain you want to log on. So let me first of all log on to the customer 1 environment, like this. So as you can see, I'm logged on right now. Let me log on to the second customer. I'm using the same user, but it's actually a user in a different domain. I can log on as well. So for the customer 1, I will go to the System Management Console. The System Management Console allows you to do the full configuration of the Awingu platform. So let me start this as customer 1. Customer 1 is actually configured as a global admin. So this admin has the rights to change the global settings of the Awingu platform. Moreover, he can manage all the different domains which have been configured. So in this particular demo environment, we have the stack and staging environments configured. Stack corresponds to customer 1 and staging to 2. So let me right now start the System Management Console within the customer 2 tenant. So this is a domain admin and not a global admin. Hence, he has no option to change global settings nor change the managing domain. He can only change what he's eventually doing within his own domain. So I think this gives already an overview of how the different domain admins are and how the tenancy works.
Great, thank you, Peter. So let's now zoom into 2 additional new features that we've added. And the first thing that I'd like to show is Smart Card and how we engage with Smart Card readers. And actually, that's quite a challenge since, remember, we're working in a browser-only context. So what Peter is going to show is how you can use Smart Card readers for usage within your applications. Remember, we already had the ability to use an EID card, for example, to log into your Awingu environment. Here, we add the capability to use smart cards as well inside an application. Peter, can you give us a quick show on how this would work?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the demo for the smart card support, I'm actually showing this within a Firefox browser, since this functionality is at the moment only supported on Firefox and Internet Explorer. In a later stage, we will make this for all browsers. So to give a good example, I will start the EID viewer, since this one is actually accessing my EID card. So this is starting the application as a normal way. And if everything goes well, you can see it's reading the picture, it's reading the certificate chain, and you can see there's a nice picture of myself. So this means that we have redirected smart card from the host towards actually the legacy application which resides on backend.
Cool. Thank you, Peter. And actually, we published the EID viewer on our demo platform as well. So feel free to try it yourself and use your own card reader and see what happens. All right, so the next use case that I'd like to zoom into is the usage of advanced usage insights. And this is really, really an important functionality that we've added. We make it really simple now for any administrator to see what user used what application at what point in time in what geography. And this is really powerful because it enables you as an administrator to optimize your backend software license costs, but it also gives you the ability to really easily easy step into ISO certification processes, etc., because you get a very good insight on actual usage. Peter, can you give us a look at what it looks like today and what we're showing?
Absolutely. So let me go back to this customer 1 admin. Since he is a global admin, I can start the admin console, which gives insights to a lot of information. But for this session, I will focus on the audit part, which has been added. So I can start the Awingu sessions. This will actually show a table with all the Awingu sessions which have been created and when they were ended. So as you can see, there are 3 sessions active, which have a session start but no session end yet. And as you can see, these were my accounts which I just logged on during this demo. As you can see, previously there were other sessions which have been closed. So this grid, which can be exported, can show you all information you need to do to comply to any certification you need. Next to the Awingu sessions, we have the same overview for the application sessions as well. There is the unique ID, which can map applications to user sessions, so you can see very clearly on how the software is being used to optimizing of your licenses, etc.
Thank you. I think that was really a really cool feature that we've added in Awingu 3.1.
Absolutely.
Now, as an ender to this short introduction to Awingu 3.1, we've added a number of functionalities, but at the core, we remain at our USP, at our unique selling proposition. And I think that is, Awingu is a simple and intuitive solution for the end user, and we really focus on this usability and user experience. Next to that, is really easy to deploy. 9 in 10 customers are deployed within a day, and very often it's just a matter of 3 to 4 hours. And one of the reasons why we're deploying so fast is because we're going to leverage your existing investments, your backend system, your cloud platforms, etc. Everything can stay as is, and that also means that we can give you a very interesting TCO. So. That was it for us today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this was informative.
Okay, thanks for your attention all.